Guess who likes the bad music? The Executive Mayor does. Tuning to it. Executive Mayor, good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Progressive Talk.
Good evening and good evening to our listeners.
Good evening. I see by you jamming to the bad music there that you're ready to go. You're ready to talk to us about the IDP budget.
I'm ready. I'm trying to get my spirit up. I'm a bit exhausted. It's been a long day, but I'm still available for the people of Limpopo and Polokwane.
Yeah, and as I was saying a bit earlier, of course, that the Municipality Council has adopted the 2021-2026 draft IDP budget. It is, of course, now consulting with communities through different platforms and media, instead of course having contact meetings so that the community could provide comments on the draft IDP and the budget. And the Executive Mayor will give us an overview, and then we'll give you an opportunity there at home to call us and to comment on the IDP budget. Now, the Executive Mayor was just saying to me that we'd like to give more time to you at home to comment and engage on these issues that we're going to be raising here. So that's on 087-288-9697. That's our studio line. And the WhatsApp number there is 079-899-6226. So we can use those to actually hear your views and engage with the Executive Mayor as she sits with us this evening here in the studio and talk about these issues. We've always been saying that it will always be very helpful if we have the Executive Mayor talk to us about these issues, and then you have an opportunity to actually engage with the Executive Mayor on these issues as she brings them up. So, Executive Mayor, maybe just so we give a very good background on the issues, if you could talk us through the purpose of consultation with members of the community on the draft IDP and the budget.
Okay, thank you very much, and good evening again once more to our listeners. It's a constitutional mandate.
Yeah.
Section 152 of our Constitution demands the involvement of our communities in the matters of local government. Our Municipal Structures Act, I think it's Section 116, further makes a direct instruction since 2000, which mandate municipalities by law to create a culture of public participation governance, but also to develop, prepare and review its IDP, which is our Integrated Development Plan, to its communities. As you have correctly said in your opening remarks, that we have adopted as council the draft budget. Now by law, a Municipal Structures Act then compels us to take that draft budget for public participation, for inputs, for views, for understanding, for clarification, and then subsequent implementation to ensure that we are together as we build our communities.
But what planned services is this budget focusing on for the coming years?
Well, there are 4 key areas, and they may not be coming in the same order of priority in each and every different cluster. We currently have 7 clusters, with the addition of Aranang being a cluster. But our major problem is 1, water, 2, roads, 3, sewer, 4, did I count roads?
Yes.
Electricity.
Electricity, yeah.
Now, you may find that there is a limited water shortage. I'm making an example in Mankweng, but there is a high electricity shortage in that area. And you may find that in Muleji, relatively, they're at around 97% coverage of electricity, but they've got a very unsustainable delivery of water. You find Flora Park have got streets, of course, with potholes in this recent past, but a very inconsistent supply of water. So water will be their main priority. But in the main, as a municipality, these 4 key areas are our problems.
In one of the 4 key, water, what are the immediate plans there?
Well, we need 163 megaliters per day. We are able to raise as a municipality and the source around 124, including, which means we have got around 40 deficit of water per day, but we have got projects which starts from smart metering at around 10 million. We've got a sewer extension and reticulation from Seshego in that old West Seshu waste treatment water plant to the new waste treatment water plant. We've got a SCADA monitoring system for our water purification system at around 15 million. We have an addition of 30 boreholes. Remember the last time I was here, I did say that after taking back the projects, after COVID, they will be handing them over in August, September, of 62 boreholes. In this financial year that will be starting in June, July, we will be adding a 30, which means the municipality will roughly be operating close to 100 boreholes, trying to supplement, and that 100 will give us around 6.4. This 30 will give us around 6.4. The 60 we're expecting around 30 megaliters per day. So we're budgeting a further 7 million for this 30 new boreholes, 5 million for the refurbishment of our dam just behind what is that place called next to ZCC?
Oh yeah, what is that place
called? Stephen Lumba.
Okay.
Stephen Lumba.
Okay.
There's a Depnaude dam there. We've budgeted around 5 million to put a booster pump. The dam is full now, to add and augment the water that comes from Lepelle at the Ebenezer direct line, but also to make sure that we have a wastewater treatment works that is standing on its own. We're going to reroute, as I've said, the sewer from Seshego at around 5 million to the main sewer. We're constructing a Sand River Northwest treatment plant. We've budgeted around 16 million for that. It will ensure that the water that is pumped into Krugersberg, Potgieter, and Dorenkraal, 3 of our main reservoirs, from these 90 boreholes that I've spoken about, is cleaned, and a total of that 18 megaliters per day of water will be cleaned. By law, we don't drill water a borehole and give it directly to you. It needs to be tested, certified if it meets the Blue Drop standard before it is delivered to you. So in essence, we are bringing totally a budget of water that is around 177 million. Now remember, I've just spoken about the city Seshego with a few touch-ups, but we've got actually 16 regional water schemes, be them Imleji in Mulepo Chweni Maja, Mulepo Dam and whatever. So there's quite a lot of projects that I didn't unpack. So we're giving this budget for the 3 outer years, right up to 2023, 2024, up to 2026. So in this water supply augmentation, in our budget for 2021 is 177 million. And in the 3 years, we're also spending no less than 150 million to ensure. So our sewer is 158 million. Our electricity is 263 million. From one cluster to the other, to make sure that there's proper supply and maintenance, particularly of our street lights, due to the stock theft of cable that we have been having and have to replace.
Street lights will always be a question. I can guarantee you'll get one question about street lights. Just before we move on the sewer part, in the last address you spoke about a project there in Seshego and Mankweng. You touched on it now. I just wonder if there's more to add, or we can move from that.
No. As I've said, the regional wastewater treatment plant, which is on the site of your dam, Sut Doreng, or what you call Betts Park, as a park of the municipality, we have budgeted 50 million for that plant. So we should be able to put the portion of the connection from the old sewer from Seshego to the new treatment waste plant for the sewer. It carries around 20 megaliters per day new, and then it should deal with all our sanitation issues. But also will not close the Seshego one, which is what we call the Polokwane waste. We've budgeted 15 million for its own revamp and continue to service the people of Seshego. I think those are the two major issues
Yeah.
of sanitation with regard to waste treatment plants, but we have got 40 million that will be shared from all our clusters to deal with pit latrines in rural areas where the sewer system is not yet up and running.
And on the 4 priorities that you spoke about, the one that we added later, the roads there,
Yeah.
and the issue of the
Yeah.
D roads, you always get complaints there. We have protests here and there, even on those that the municipality is responsible or not. Other plans around that that the municipality will be looking at around D roads.
Well, we've got quite a bit of roads. You know, the issue of D roads makes me emotional. Friends and colleagues called during the day and said, don't be too emotional when you talk about road agency, Limpopo and Lepelle, Northern Water.
Yeah.
But I became emotional because I guess I wear 2 caps. Sometimes I forget the other cap and remember that I may have to fight on behalf of municipalities.
Yeah.
We've got a sizable budget of our roads in town. Upgrading from the destruction that we had in the recent past, particularly with regard to our rain. We have a total of around 17 million, which will be dealing with our non-motorized Leeto la Polokwane roads in around the CBD. I'm sure you've seen our 25 buses.
Yeah.
The Premier will be getting onto the buses in a very short moment. We're dealing with the roads about 5 million at Nirvana. We're dealing with roads about 5 million at Westernberg, Divert, Munich Avenue, right up to the R81 passing Mall of the North. It's receiving another 4.9, close to 5 million. The repairs, rework the sub-base and asphalt in the city around, it's around 3 million. Traffic lights in the city have a budget of around 500,000. We are reducing there. If you know, in the past financial year, we've put quite a number of control management system. We think we're getting right there. We're jacking up our camera systems now. We've budgeted around 2 million for strategic insertion of cameras to assist our street lights, but also to assist crime fighting endeavors of our municipality, and the road signage at around 200,000. Stormwater
Yeah.
links to our roads in the city.
Yes.
Seshego and Ivy Park. I must apologize up front for the people of Ivy Park. I know the situation. Unfortunately, we will not be able to do their stormwater in this financial year. But we are dealing with that at Flora Park, Ster Park and Fauna Park to around 3.5 million. And rather 1 million which will be dealing with our upgrading of the stormwater in the city and in Seshego in particular. I wouldn't want to talk about Leeto la Polokwane and their roads and their upgrades because we've taken quite a bit of some time. It's a program that is funded by the National Department of Transport. But in total, the municipality in its entirety will be putting around 288 million into our roads, including the rural roads.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes me a
I see
bit
that.
uncomfortable. But yes, in these 3 outer years that we have spoken about, that amount will actually be moving closely to around 900 million.
Okay.
Yep.
And talking about electricity, of course, you would have the general challenges of maintenance of street lights and infrastructure development. It's very important to strengthen the capacity of electrical systems. What are the challenges there, and how are you dealing with them?
Biggest challenge, theft.
Yeah.
You know, it sets us back. We've got 4 key pointing areas where we connect our street lights. We've got in a total of around 43,000 street lights in Polokwane Municipality.
Okay.
Now, those who stay around Outspan will know that there was a day where they didn't have electricity, I think for about 2 days. That stock theft killed the entire area with regard to connectivity in their household, but also including street lights. So part of what belongs to town in your Matlala Road, around the extension 44, we'll be putting street lights there at around 2 million. Electrification of our households in urban extension 78. Don't say I've put RDPs there with no electricity.
Yeah.
It's a 20 million project that is coming to ensure the expansion of that, and the urban households still at extension 40, another 20 million. So we're putting close to around 42 million just dealing with energy capacity, and 2 million to deal with street lights. This excludes infrastructure which we'll be buying. I'm told there's a detector for cable theft and whatever. We'll be buying 4 of those apparatus. We need about 10 cherry pickers to ensure that when we get the detectors, we are now up and ready. Because currently what happens, you put back the copper that they steal the following day, they remove it. If you have not put and budgeted for the detectors, it becomes a fruitless exercise. We have undertaken it before, we have repaired, but after a week, it's as if we have not passed there. So it's better for us to budget in a systematic way, which suggests that let's get the detectors first. You won't know where we put them. We're coming down with the reduction of theft in our boreholes and our pumps, because Papa, we get our machine back. So we are sophisticated. They move from one area to another. Now we're battling with a cable theft, and that is why Polokwane currently it's a dark city.
Okay. This one may prove tricky for your 2 cabs. Very interesting to see.
I have no 2 cabs. I have one. Executive Mayor of Polokwane.
What are the expected tariff changes?
Well, we are almost at a 15%. You can deal with that at the overall. But our tariffs, towards the end of our document, they are explained. In fact, in electricity, we have maintained what NERSA has approved to ESCOM at a 15% increase. And that is what we are keeping. Water, we are taking it down from the current years that it used to be. I'm trying to find my page. Oh, thank you, I got it. Our tariff change of water will go slightly up from 7.5, which is currently what we've been charging, to around 8.5. Which means we've just put 1% of growth. With regard to sanitation services, we have gone down from 5.4 to around 4.6, which means we have taken around a 1.4 reduction to make comfort and ease for our people. The same with waste removal, from 5.4 to 4.6%. So there's no growth there, there's a decline actually. Assessment rates, there's no growth, there's a decline. It's assessment rates from 5.4 to 4.6 below. Because remember, the trick of assessment rates, they are property rates. The market, as it becomes good, the value of your property becomes stronger, or the value gets to be much higher. But if the market is a bit as stagnant as it is now, you don't necessarily get the benefit of the value of the property that you have, even if you would want to maintain or sell or keep. So we're taking them down with 4.6. And electricity, as I've said, NERSA was granted an approval to a scope of 15%, and the municipality is at 16%. Currently, in year 19 and year 20, we have actually been charging lesser than what has been approved for NERSA. We're at around 13%. But we're seeing a decline in terms of our collection due to high levels of unemployment, coupled with COVID and its challenges economically, which means the municipality needs to ensure that it gets sufficient revenue to be able to service 2 of its major debtors, and that is water from Lepelle Northern Water and energy from ESCO. Okay.
All right. Maybe that's it from me. Maybe let me allow your people, Executive Mayor, to speak to you and ask the questions we want to ask. Maybe very key, just so we sort this out and we all clear. For the next 40 minutes, we'll be speaking to the Executive Mayor, but would like to allow as many questions as possible and as many people as possible to come through and speak to the Executive Mayor. So we're going to request that you direct straight to the point. Simple, ask your questions. Let's leave the other things out. The Executive Mayor has been in the municipality for quite some time, so should be very familiar with the background. Let's just go straight to the question and be able to deal with the issues so we can be able to accommodate as many as possible. And that's on 087-288-9697. 087-288-9697 is our studio line, and the WhatsApp number is 079-899-6226. 079-899-6226. That's also for Telegram. You can use that. Let's start with Soli there, who is calling us. Good evening, Soli.
Hi, how are you?
Very good.
Good, man. Sol from Amalepo last week. Huh?
Okay.
Yes, man, I need to ask Mayor 2 questions there.
Go straight.
One is going... Can I get in?
Go on. Go straight.
Yeah, I said, yes. One question is pertaining to the road from Nobody to last Walk, as I hear that there is a budget. I just wanted to know as to what is it that is going to be done, because mainly find that they are saying we are allocated a budget to find that is the re-graveling. So I just want to hear from the mayor that what is it that is it going to be extended entirely, or is it going to be
okay.
Gravel?
I got that. The second one?
The second one is I had a saying about water there, because there is a station here, purification station, which has been done maybe 3 to 4 years since it has been here. But they were saying that they are waiting for ESCOM to allocate the electricity for the boreholes. But those things, it took more than 3 years waiting. So I just want to hear from what is going to happen about that station there, because it is quite a long time that we've been waiting.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Soli. Active Citizen, good evening.
Mangadimen, good evening to you. You made a promise that you will fix the issue of parks, because I wanted to put my animals there, but you said you will fix them. As I'm speaking to you now, the parks are still like hotspots in terms of crime. Number 2, the issue of potholes. I know it's a fact. You don't have to dig about the bushes about it. It's a fact that your people are given the tenders to fix the roads. But the problem is that they're digging holes and they leave them open. We are causing accidents. Our cars are getting damaged into those holes that they're digging instead of fixing the potholes. Please ask your people to make point that when they dig the holes, let them put the road signs if they cannot fix them at the same time.
Okay,
the last one is the issue.
All right, thank you very much. Pia? We'll just take 2 from you. Pia, good evening.
How are you?
I'm okay. Yourself?
I'm all right. We are speaking to Peter, in fact, from Mankwe.
Yeah.
My question is with regard to electrification of the Ward 31. There was an application that was made, probably if I'm not wrong, I think it was around 2017. And then we were told that you need a certain number of our households before the area gets electrified. So now, in the same area, we've got household, 2-3 households whereby people are blind. They are struggling now to use fire to make their food and all therefore. So the area now is very dark. So I want to know for Ward 31 up to so far, what is happening? How long does it take for application of electricity to be approved? Because I've been trying to...
No, that's fine. You want to know how long does it take for application to be approved in Ward 31? That's your question?
Yes, that's my question.
Thank you, Pia. Tovani?
Thank you.
Tovani, yes, good evening.
Tovani Mutalo from Sisho, yeah?
Yes, sure, go on.
Yes, the only question that I wanted to ask the executive mayor was in terms of jacking up the camera system in the city to combat crime.
Okay.
I wanted to know which power supply are they going to be using. Are they going to be using solar system or electricity? Because you would find that in most cases, cameras that are using electricity, and in times where there is no electricity in the city, then it means that there are certain incidents that are going to be happening and will not be able to be captured because the electricity is going to be off.
Which power supply are they going to be using for the cameras?
Yes, that's the question.
Thank you very much, Tovani. Let's get the executive mayor to respond to the questions, and we'll take. We also have questions on WhatsApp. Executive mayor, I know you're going to be as concise, as precise as you possibly be, and as we answer those. So the first one was Soli Road there.
Last hope, yeah. It's simple and straightforward. Soli would not be able to do a road in Ward 5 the last hope area there, it's actually divided in the main by road. A portion of it also goes to Ward 6. We are only having 4 roads, which will take us close to 24 million in the next coming 3 years, which are D roads. And the reason why we can't expand at length on D roads, we actually have left 16 D roads, which are Bermuda.
Yeah.
One of them is this last hope road, which he's talking about.
Okay.
These are roads which belongs to Road Agency Limpopo. They are main district roads. They are called D roads.
Okay.
So we budget minimally, and we felt that we need to focus and concentrate 4 at a go,
Yeah.
and then go take another 4. So in essence, it will take the municipality 4 municipal financial years to
Yes.
deal with the 16 that had started, and officially hand over to RAL those 16 roads, and the department needs to continue with them. Potholes are my problem.
Yeah.
So I can't keep on spending 24 million servicing roads which are a provincial responsibility, and I leave a complaint which is genuine about potholes that are open and not being fixed immediately.
Okay.
You know, there's quite a lot of better infrastructure which the municipality could purchase with this 24 million, for example, to deal with potholes. You cut it now, you fill it now, you grind the old tar, etc. There's quite a rope patcher works that the municipality could engage into rather than spending. So I would no longer be encouraging a municipality to spend funds on what they are not supposed to be spending it for, so that we can direct our people clearly on where do they want.
All right.
They have to take their protest to.
There was a water question, or
yes,
is that the same address?
No. Yes, a purification station, ESCOM energizing. Yes, we have finished a contract there. That is not the only one. I think in total, and that Rampedi may correct me here, in total, we have got around 16 boreholes that are waiting ESCOM to energize. Now, the trick is the city is only allowed to energize and electrify in Seshego and in town. Even the electricity of household connections that we do, like a request for Ward 31, is areas which were not licensed to service, and ESCOM's responsibility is to collect and plow back.
Okay.
So the essence of what they do now, they collect, and we all know the stories of what happened to their man. But it can't be right that Ward 31 must then say municipality energize us. We must go to ESCOM.
Okay.
ESCOM collects there, and ESCOM needs to ensure that it puts those projects. We try as a municipality, for example, this financial year, we're going to be doing 4 projects, which are going to be taking us close to around 18 million of municipal funds, which we should have been spending on municipal priorities to ensure that we develop your life to deal with those projects. So we do not select.
Yeah.
There is a priority list that gets to be adopted by council, and it is as long as you can imagine as trying to energize and put electricity into extensions. So Peter, unfortunately at Ward 31, you will have to go to your councillor, get the priority list, and get to check very well when is your electricity coming. The other challenge we have is that sometimes we are ready financially and ESCOM tells you we do not have capacity to be able to allow the space for the people that you want to.
I would suppose,
citizen.
Yeah, that parks and potholes.
Yeah, potholes. Well, I will accept that you say they are my people, though I don't know them. But it's good. When there's something good happening, I take credit. When there's something bad, I must also accept criticism.
Yeah.
It's a fair criticism. I agree with you. Yesterday I was driving at Kerk Church Street on my way from legislature in Libuahome, and that cut just close to Marshall, between Marshall and Port State. I had to call them and say, there are 2 things I've observed. Where they've cut and even treated, they've just put the old rubble just by the side of the road there, and it has in some instances stayed for a week or so. So they need to do that cleaning before their certificates are paid and ensure that fastness of the pace to deal with that. But I have also touched on better ways of how to do this is what as a municipality we have to look on. Parks, we have budgeted around 2 million to put more lights and more visibility, protection, gates and protection of our parks. Unfortunately, we can't do away with crime. You know, Flora Park Dam, SAPS actually asked us to close it. It's closed, and it has been closed for the past 2 years. because the level of crime there was too high. We put solar in our cameras, Mutlalo.
Yeah.
They get stolen. In Sekhwashi village, we have a regional water scheme there. There's a borehole, and I thought, okay, to wait for this electricity and then pay for electricity to run a borehole, let's try and introduce solar as part of. When to Mshate, they agreed. We put solar cables there. We put all the solar throwing plates. Boom! It took them 2 weeks. They are gone.
Okay.
Our robots were changed, main of them, into our solar-driven system. Somebody even said we must go and learn in the city of Oudtshoorn or somewhere in Cape Town.
Yeah.
They put a very long, high up a pole and put the solar
Up there.
far up there.
Yeah.
But in terms of us placing it closer to where it is reachable, it has proven not to be bearing profit.
Okay.
But I'm not saying they won't be using solar.
Yes.
I will check. But I'm just saying attempts for us to use solar Tobane have also found us wanting and had weaknesses
Okay.
in the system. But it's a technical one. I also have to ask those who are planning to install cameras, what is their plan
Okay.
precisely?
Now, those were the calls. Let's take the WhatsApp questions. This says, when are you going to get a proper road, Mogachwin? When are we going to get a proper road? We had enough with gravel roads, please. That's from Stanford. That's one. Proper road there. And this says, I'm asking for the village of Mamaula about electricity. Is there any plan about electricity in the village? Because in 2019, there was 2 million allocated for surveying the area, but till today, there is nothing there. That is from Dikezo. And this says, okay, we're not, am I moving too fast? Or we're noting those?
Yeah, we're moving too fast.
Okay.
Mama Hule, I got
Yeah.
Dikezo.
And Kachweni, I think. Kachweni, what is that about? The road, ne? Kachweni,
Oh, yeah.
The road. That is from Stanford. And then Dikezo wants to talk about the that's the Mamaula one. Okay, and if I'm not moving too fast, good evening. This is from Mweji Kopei from Mamaula as well. I hear Executive Mayor talking about other places far from Polokwane, not mentioning any service delivery for Mamaula, which is near the city. So Mamaula again, service delivery. This says, please ask the mayor about Jerusalem City. Electricity.
What
rather.
9?
Jerusalem electricity, because they are busy electrifying a certain portion and left the other out. So is there any explanation on that? This says, that looks like a long letter. Let's see if I'll have an opportunity to go back there. This says, just ask the EM about the extra charges that we are being charged on our bills, stated electricity and water, basic charge, which is a lot. What are they for exactly? Because we are already paying for the water. What is the extra charge for? That's one. 2, on the roads and sidewalks paving, why is the municipality wasting our money by working backwards? They did nice sidewalks, waste, but later came back and start digging them out to do who knows what. This is waste of the people money, and we're not happy about it. They don't have a plan before they start. So at least that's 5.
You were no longer giving me names, but I will respond to the issues.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I've
there
got
wasn't
issues,
in the
but,
ones I mentioned. Here's what
okay.
I'm going to do. I'm going to make it a slightly challenging for you. So it's 27 minutes to, if we could go through those in the next 7 minutes.
Wow. Okay, I'll do my best.
Yeah.
There are 2 people who have spoken about Mama Huli,
Yeah.
and they know their problems very well. We try to intervene as a municipality. Mama Hule issue is very difficult. They are seated in a land which is not even formalized to be a formal settlement. A land which is not even clear who owns it. And they know themselves that they deal with wars on a day-to-day among owners themselves. So there will be no services, honestly, coming to Mama Hule until the issue of ownership, transfer of land, proper registration of a formal settlement at Mama Hule is done. We've written to the Minister, Metogo Titiza, on rural and development to assist and maybe as a way of solving the war, allocate another fresh piece of land to the others who claim that the land is legitimately theirs, so that one group can then apply for the formalization of that settlement.
Yeah.
In fact, simply put, Mama Hule Kishushumela. That is, yeah, Shushumela, it means you just go, walk in there, there's no road, there's no ablution facility, there's no registration. You are staying in a land in the city. You have got no title deed. You have got no municipal registration. You have got no bill. So what? How does it happen? Story for another day.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I can't come here and say people of Mamaula will get electricity or water. No, we're still battling to solve the legal challenge.
Yeah.
That we went to court to stop the growth there. And in the court said, it's not your land, you don't have a local stand, you could rather charge everybody who sits there in violation of your bylaws for staying in an agricultural land for residential purposes. My sincere apologies if those who sold you the land didn't tell you the exact truth. Stanford from Gachweni, it's mostly the roads. We left one road in the middle from Silicon down all the way to Taba area, which is part of the 16 that I'm speaking about and can only be finished in the next 4 financial years.
Yes.
More than that, I wouldn't encourage, I don't think I'll still be there, but I wouldn't encourage the municipality to continue dealing with the roads, but rather it should focus within street roads where our mandate is, and roads agency Limpopo needs to deal with that. Extra charges. These are not extra charges. They are called basic charges. He's calling them correctly because that's how they are written in a statement.
Yeah.
Before you get electricity, there's electricity infrastructure.
Okay.
What you are paying for, you're talking about a token which either comes from you purchasing electricity. But when we talk about the Alpha substation, we talk about the one next to Angelina substation, you talk about the energy infrastructure of the city. That's what those 2 basic charges are. They are normally accompanied by water and a basic charge for electricity.
Okay.
In other cities, they also do put a basic charge for waste when they want to develop and start a new waste landfill site, for example.
Okay.
You may find that there is a waste basic charge, which over time it gets to be eradicated once you have got all your infrastructure in terms of energy or water standing. So it's not an extra charge.
Okay.
It's called a basic charge. For you to access electricity, it moves on a particular line, and that infrastructure must be maintained. Road and sidewalk, most of them were dark when we were putting Wi-Fi. And the companies, I think it's Voma in the main here in the city and in Seshego. But I've also received complaints which I think are legitimate, where they don't put it back to its original, to the way they found it originally. So I think as a municipality we may have to improve with regard to our monitoring and evaluation of projects, the same as the pothole story of why would you have the rubble filled on the side of the road and nobody do anything about it. I think I've taken...
What was their answer when you asked about the rubble on the side of the road?
Well, I'm going to write a book.
Okay.
The answers are very interesting. It's as if people don't drive around town.
Yeah.
It's not only rubble. You know, I'm one of the worst, I think, when it comes to officials who by law are supposed to be driven and what. I prefer to drive myself because I get to experience a lot. You find that the roads division has not been informed by the energy division, which has been fixing a robot.
Okay.
So the energy division will dig there at Marshall, at corner Marshall and Gazelle Street. Energy came, dig, inserted a new robot. There was no robot there, if you remember. And then they leave a hole and they go.
Okay. I'm the one who derailed you. You were going to talk about Jerusalem next.
Yeah, but anyway, then they go.
Yeah.
And then you pass there for 2 weeks. And then I call them. Then they go like, no, we have not been told, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll get
and
there.
And then you get into a very, I have very nasty names, but I accept them.
Okay.
Jerusalem, what 9? There are 3 portions of what I can call Jerusalem. We are electrifying in the middle, in the main. It's around 900 households. A project that is currently happening. The challenge here is the capacity and the funds that we have. By the way, Jerusalem was even lucky it did not follow the priority list that I spoke about.
Yes.
Because ESCOM in its original infrastructure that was there, had a space to allocate others, but not everybody else. And we engaged with the village. The late Councillor Mestad called so many meetings there together with ESCOM to make you understand that as capacity increases, we'll then be able to electrify other areas.
Okay.
Included in that area, it is the responsibility of ESCOM. So whoever you are, caller, let's go to ESCOM. If we have attempted something, let them also add up and assist.
I'm going to let you rest a bit. I'm going to give you a break and we'll continue.
Open up a world of opportunity at home with plug-and-play home internet from SA's leading network. Learn, work and play with a 200 gig data deal for just R449 per month over 36 months and get a super fast router plus 6 months of Amazon Prime Video on us. You'll also earn Vodabucks to spend in the Vodabuck store. Offer also available on deals of up to 800 gigs. Go in store or search Vodacom Home. T's and C's apply. Further together, Vodacom.
Progressive Talk, where real issues are discussed. Capricorn FM, Limpopo's hottest frequency.
Progressive Talk. All right, let's go back in, and we want to engage. So we want to take as many as possible. I saw we have a lot of WhatsApp texts and some calls, so we're going to try and shift there. Move as quick as we possibly can. Let's start with Mike. Mike, good evening.
Yes, how are you, sir?
Good, yourself?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm staying at Mama Hule village. I hear the mayor saying that there is a fight over the land. There is no such a thing. That has been passed a long time ago. That is number one. Number two, the legality part. The area is legalized under our chieftaincy of Matau. Can the mayor please arrange something that so that we meet with the municipality and discuss these basic services, because we are suffering, honestly speaking.
Okay.
We are living without electricity and water.
All right, thank you, Mike. Legalized as far as you're concerned there.
Can I ask a favor from you? Can you come to Capricorn FM tomorrow? Each and every traditional household is legalized by Coxter. It have a certificate. Can you please bring that certificate to Capricorn FM? Tell me the time, I'll pick it up.
All right, that will be arranged. I think.
Thank you very much. Then they will call me.
All right,
we'll take it up from there.
Mashona, good evening.
This is Mashona in Zone 6. How are you?
Good. What's your question?
I am concerned with in Zone 6, there are no street lights, especially on the industrial side. We're sitting in darkness here. The problem is there are students here who attend night classes and they're walking in the dark most of the time and they're being robbed. We don't want to see them being...
Okay, so no electricity there?
Sorry?
No street lights there?
There are no street lights. It's dark here. And we wrote letters today to the mayor, but we never got any response. Another second thing is the issue of... Okay,
just all right. No, I heard you. Executive Mayor, you want to say something?
What area is it, Baba?
You said Zone 6.
Zone 6, Zone 6 in
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay. Justice, good evening.
Good evening, Gamla, and good evening, Honorable Mayor. Thanks very good for the good job that you are doing. Now mine is just one. I just want to find out in terms of the Polokwane, we appreciate that project. Are there contingency plans to avoid the long hand of corruption? We don't want to see Mayor at the end being called by TP, say there is a corruption and the Polokwane project is becoming a white elephant. Are there contingency plans to...
Corruption, Polokwane. Thank you, Justice. We're still taking your calls in Progressive Talk. Let's hear from you, questions that you may have. We've got 3 there, Executive Mayor. I'll just take 2 from WhatsApp there. I'll avoid repeating one similar to the ones I've already done. If I was to do justice, I should start here. Please ask the Executive Mayor, where is electricity at Distening Extension 78A? Mayor is discriminating as she focused on Extension 78B, in case we did not. Okay, so she electrified that place 2 times, in 2018 and 2019. It's unsigned, this one. Okay, this says... Disabled communities in Polokwane Municipality cannot help ourselves due to the fact that we are not consulted, and this lack of consultation results in us being unfairly discriminated, thus imposing unequal treatment. We're still waiting for an answer from the Executive Mayor's Office to respond to our close to 3 letters since 2018 to much expected meeting with the Mayor in order to outline many disability issues. That is from Marvin Muremi in Polokwane Disability Forum. That's the chairperson of the Polokwane Disability Forum. So still waiting to engage with the executive mayor. Just go on there and add one more. This says, so there are 3 more questions here from Justice. We Justices, we appreciate the good work. We sing the leadership great. Just clarity regarding demarcation. I know it might not be relevant, but will this demarcation not affect service delivery of villages affected by demarcation? How will Leetola Polokwane going to benefit majority of Seshego residents and majority of taxi owners and drivers when the project is fully commissioned? That project carries a lot of money. Are we going to see or hear corruption and the project becomes white elephant? I think this is the one we got an A as well.
Yeah.
The justice one. Had I known that. Okay, maybe we can just deal with the ones that we've gotten up to there. I'm seeing a lot. I'll just ask the communication team to note some of them if we don't get to them. But Executive Mayor,
let me start by appreciating Marvin Muremi, the chairperson of the Disability Committee, and commit myself, as I have said in another radio station this morning. He also sent a message. So I guess he's really participating and asking for us to listen to the voices of people with disabilities.
Yeah.
And I actually committed and said, I know even in our employment equity target, with regard to the 2% of employment designated for people with disabilities as a municipality, we don't meet that target. It will be better for the executive mayor to meet with the team and be able to get to learn quite more on how best could we do and improve the lives of our people with disabilities. In fact, he's raising issues that ungwaletse mangwalo and I don't allocate a meeting. But Sidiso is listening here. That's his part. Sidiso batu bangwalela mangwalo and you don't assist me to meet with them on time.
Now, are you giving me the letter to this? Okay. No, you're not.
That would have been better. Eh?
I thought he was proving the letters.
There were 2 issues. The issue of demarcation doesn't necessarily affect. If it's a project of electricity and it's 900 households, and then the demarcation says you are now in Ward 5 and in Ward 4, and the project is already ongoing and it has calculated everybody else, it will just continue as it is. It is more about the management to assist the municipality to move into a ward-based form of an IDP over time, contrary to the cluster system. And it's obviously done by the Municipal Demarcation Board. So our people are encouraged, when there are public hearings, for them to go and express their dissatisfactions and suggestion to the Municipal Demarcation Board. But really, whether you are in the light of one government, one budget and one plan, whether you are a resident of Butokwa and a resident of Polokwane, you must be serviced excellently by one government. Leetola Polokwane, there's no corruption and there will be no corruption. This is a project that is assessed and the funding comes from the National Department of Transport. In this financial year, if you check from our budget, Leetola Polokwane has nothing less than 60 million allocated. For example, they are still going to deal with the trunk for around 35 million. The Pick and Pay CBD facility there of offloading is around 13 million. The upper structures for the stations which needs to be started, planned, is 13 million. The bus depot which needs to be built is allocated 21 million. 14 million is another bus depot in Seshego, and many more besides the non-motorized programs where you deal with. For example, the NDPG grant which goes with Leetola Polokwane, can you see what it done to the park in Seshego there next by the stadium? And besides, not only the park, the entire canal behind that When I was driving the other day, I was going to Butcher. That's where I buy my meat. You know, I found that the residents of Seshego are starting to make that place again a dumping site. When we had gone there, cleaned it, put lights, visibility, beautiful, paved it. I was expecting to see people starting jogging now. You know, living a healthy life, so that across it, next to what used to be Mastec, I can put a open air gym. You know, while I'm still but that's a story for another day. Electricity, my extensions are I explained. I said this financial year, extension 78, we electrified one portion. We are this financial year going to be electrifying the next portion. We have budgeted 20 million for extension 78 and extension 40. We have further budgeted 2 million for extension 44 for street lights. So that area, as we call it in totality, the standing, the new RDPs, 44, the old RDPs as you go towards Matlala Road. Those Matlala roads, they need more lighting. That's why we're focusing on street lights. They are old RDPs. They were done earlier on. The ones of 78 are new. It's the one the president came for an official visit. They'll be getting at least this time around 40 million.
Okay.
I know they understand when I explain in person. I think that was it in general.
All right, let's take more calls. Given, good evening.
Hey, how are you?
Great. What's your question?
Hey, Given,
Ambrose is not given.
Ambrose.
Sorry, what was that?
Ambrose.
It's Ambrose.
Thank you, my brother. Go ahead.
Mayor, just two things. I'll be precise. The first one, you indicated that our residential area, Mama Hule, it's a Shushumela. I think in 2016 or 17, there was an IEC station stationed at Mama Hule under Matau. So we voted there at that station. Today we are a Shushumela. Secondly, to you, Mayor, Mama Hule, I think there are different Mama Hules. Which part of those Mama Hules have the legal problem? Because we believe there are 8 around Mama Hules there. You see a gate, Mama Hule, Mama Hule, Mama Hule.
Which one are you from? Which one are you referring to?
From the Matsaus one.
Okay, the Matsaus one is the one you're referring to. Thank you, Given. Musa, good evening.
Who's it, Musa?
Yes, Musa.
Straight to the point. Mama Hule. Mayor, last time we our issue but Mama Hule about meet. And you come to Mama Hule, Mama Hule about meet. We respect all the rights, the constitution said Polokwane Municipality, but when it comes to Mama Hule, we ignore. If they've got an issue, seriously mayor issue, you should come to the ground, Mayor, or we notice board.
Okay, maybe let's add this question to you. Which Mama Hule are you talking about? Apparently there's two.
Mama Hule one, the only one chief.
That's the only one. All right, sure. Thank you. Good evening to you. This question on WhatsApp, Executive Mayor. So we've got the two ones on Mama Hule. Maybe we should have a different sitting about Mama Hule, Executive Mayor.
No, we can. You must invite land affairs.
Yeah, maybe
the allocation of land. As I said, we've written a letter to the minister. You can also invite the task team themselves. You can go and call Department of Justice. They will tell you the cases that are currently in court. People who have been arrested, out on bail, on the Mama Hule fights amongst themselves. So, really, I'm at liberty. Anytime you call me, I will come and give the municipal side with regards to Mama Hule.
At the risk of me making you repeat yourself, I'll just avoid going back there because I suppose what you have already said stands, and as far as Mama Hule is concerned. So this says the only mayor who I know, she knows the communities she's serving very well. Oh, very you, the only mayor. The only mayor who I know, she knows the communities she's serving on very well. That is from Sipho there. Suppose I'm going to let you say thank you before.
Maybe just before you go towards closure, let me deal with what Ambrose is raising.
Okay.
We need to understand separation of powers and responsibilities. The IEC doesn't report to the mayor. The IEC has a constitutional mandate that every resident in South Africa is afforded an opportunity to vote. Right? Now, the mayor can't say, don't go there or go there. I don't have that right. I'm not that big, even in the official position that I have.
Yeah.
But what we rather should try to do, and they know, I met a team which came to my office
Yes.
and were trying to intervene. Actually, they even cited me in court that the reason why they are fighting others is because the mayor has also recognized them to meet with them and try to resolve the problem because their existence is known. That is why Ambrose says there are many mamaules. Because there are challenges there. But I have given a challenge and a request, not rather a challenge, to the earlier caller. I can't remember who his name was. I said for
was
us
Mike,
to deal, Michael, with issues, Ambrose and Musa of Mamahule. Let us sit down on the table. If you are under a traditional leadership, as Amos says, of Hoshima, municipality has one direction on how it recognizes. It gets a certificate from COCTA and recognizes that traditional authority and begin to plan for services. If I don't have, they are not the only one. There's a settlement called Juju Valley, for example, in a private farm there. I can't service it until today.
Yeah.
You understand? They are not a peculiar situation with regard to local government establishments, in-house settlements are formed.
Okay. Right. Let me take those away from you.
Let's take it there.
Yeah, let me take those away from you. This says, it says, Jauke Manlo Watira, but I can send from promise. Okay, you
time for retirement.
Okay. So you got what Promise is saying there. This is from Teboko in Sishugu says, what about Sishugu Zone 1 extension outline from Zone 8? Because we have been promised a tar road since forever. Every ward in Sishugu is being developed by Zone 1. Is not in Sishugu. Thank you very much, Capricorn Fan. I'm now answered about the discrimination of electricity at the standing. Okay, we appreciate that you answered
that's
there.
better.
Yeah.
I'll come see them though.
Okay. This says, do you consult children, young people, when developing your IDP as required by General Comment number 19 of the UNCRC, as indicated above?
Well, it could be because we did not even talk about sports, which does not mean that it's not there. For example, we are building a softball pitch. We have got programs in Bakoni Malapa for its repairs and renovations. We have got our non-motorized transport works, which is meant for cycling. And back we have got maintenance of your Pitamkaba old stadium and the sporting facilities. We have got your library gardens where you have got your arts group which are allowed by municipality on subsidy to deal with issues of recreation. You have got budgets for libraries. So you can't deliver a 4 billion budget in an hour. So if a question arises, I am able to tap into that corner and reflect. But as I had said, we focused on the 4 key areas, but it doesn't mean there's no sporting complex that is done even in our rural areas. There's no landfill site that is built in our rural transfer stations in our rural areas. Or the Mlepo Chweni Maja cluster, which will not be having a rural transfer station. The municipality has purchased 10 trucks to start our rural municipal waste. We collect in the city, town, and Mankweng on a day-to-day. Now we've bought new 10 trucks to be delivered by National Treasury, and we want to start to go to corners at Muleji and Blood River and all those areas and begin to deal with the cleanliness. I haven't spoken to it. It's in the budget, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be there. But I think I must emphasize, I see we're left with the second.
Okay, let me do this and you can emphasize. Just be on.
I want that. That.
Okay,
the contacts, the 30 days. The closing is on the 30th of April.
Okay, let me get rid of this. Let me attend to this, and then we'll wrap up with executive mayor. Standard Bank's new Pure Save account helps you save by paying you interest while you bank, manage your money, and use future dated payments to conveniently take care of your recurring payments with no monthly management fees. Get 3 free ATM cash deposits per month, make payments, transfers, manage your account, send and receive money, purchase airtime, data, electricity and lotto. Open a PuSave account with Standard Bank and branch today. T's and C's apply. So, yeah, as we wrap up with the Executive Mayor, were you pointing at this or something else, Executive Mayor?
No, I thought your story is not the Standard Bank T's and C's apply.
I
thought you were going to talk about informing my community members.
Yeah.
How can they still send their comments?
Okay.
On the IDP, we have an email, Victor n1@polokwane.gov.za. Our cluster offices have the copies of these budgets. You can peruse them and then send that email. We have got a WhatsApp number that you could send a WhatsApp. You can send a message. You can also visit our office, those who stay in town. Our WhatsApp number is 065-922-4017. Let me repeat, 065-922-4017. You can also send a message into that number. It's not only WhatsApp aligned. And then there are forms in our cluster offices where you could just come in. You don't even have to give us your name.
Yeah.
You can write your comment if you don't want to give us your name. And we'll be collecting all this in this month period. The closing time for comments is the 30th of April, so we still have time. And I'm hopeful that I will get a meeting with the Mama Hule people before the 30th.
Yeah, we should do something about it. I think perhaps we should get a time, come here in the studio, have everybody sit in as far as we possibly can and deal with these issues. We'll talk with Tidis about that. Where are you going tomorrow?
Do you have their numbers?
Yeah, the ones who called. Yeah, we should have.
We will contact them.
Yeah. So you continue with engaging communities tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow I'm on Tobela FM, I'm on Muleji community radio stations. Friday, I'm on Radio TEF on the Mankweng cluster.
Yeah.
I completed there. Then I'm going to try to squeeze in our stakeholders, our traditional leaders, our religious bodies, young people, where we could, and then wrap up towards the end. I've made a commitment to meet Marvin.
Okay.
I've also tried to do that, to deal with the issues that affect people with disability.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll see the statement.
Otherwise,
after
he
the
will
meeting.
come here, Marvin, and do for me, and I don't want that.
Okay. So this, am I leaving something out? Did you say we're going to Aganang? When, or that side?
Oh yeah, Muleji Aganang.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah,
okay.
that's tomorrow. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Executive Mayor, for sitting with us.
You have put me under pressure. It has been a marathon. I'm even sweating. Yeah.
But you're doing comfortably. You're running very well, it seems here.
No, it's time up.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and thank you to our listeners.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A very good night. Thank
there
you.
At home. Thank you, Executive Mayor. Thank you there at home for sitting with us. These are the questions, unfortunately, for all of us that we're able to get to. I see there's still other WhatsApp texts, but also notice that some are those that we're able to call in, but some are related to some that she has already answered. But we'll send these to the municipality communication team. They should be able to get around that. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Up next is Mr. Black with the Capricorn FM Express. We're done here. Good night.
Stay with us and settle into the night with the best soothing sounds. Capricorn FM. Ladies and gentlemen.